Okay, Lior, welcome to one of our final OTTRed Spotlight podcasts here at IBC 2023, sponsored by Bedrock Streaming. Thanks for joining us. I'm looking forward to the topic that we're going to talk about today, which is obviously the switch off, the PSBs and the digital switch off. You're in the hot seat on this one because you're someone that is working in a public service broadcaster. We've spoken before about this, and I know you've got some really interesting perspectives on it. So I'm looking forward to unpacking, number one, what this actually means, because I think a lot of people will be curious to hear about it. And number two, getting the inside track view on as much as you're willing or allowed to share with us. Sure. So let's start off, Lior, with just an introduction from yourself. Who are you? Where do you work? What do you do?
Okay, so first of all, thanks for having me. My name is Lior. I work for Khan, the Israeli public broadcaster, and we're funded by the government with mission and goals, and we have a lot of goals and missions. But talking about the streaming, we are trying to deliver the best streaming experience in Israel, while still being free. We're not charging for our service, and we try to be wherever our users need us to be in every platform, and to be inclusive, to think about all kind of users, kids and elders and everything in between, and still deliver the best experience and cover 4 platforms with all of our content, and be the best content provider and the best streaming platforms.
True. And your role is digital product manager, right?
Yeah, I am in charge of our TV app and some the kids platforms, the website and the mobile app. I work for the digital division in the product department, and we handle everything digital in the organization. Every tool, if it's for in-house use for the editors or the reporters, and of course the end user experience, the mobile apps, the website, the TV app, every digital platform the organization is. Yeah.
You literally personify the digital frontier.
Yeah.
So talk to us about what that role is like. You know, public service broadcasting anywhere globally, long established, obviously different lengths, but something that everybody's familiar with generationally. And then all of a sudden digital arrives.
Right.
And somebody like you arrives on the scene and says, we're going to change things in the future. How does that work in a public service broadcaster? That was a challenging role.
Yes. I'm not sure if our example is the only model, but I believe it is, because the organization was born decades ago, and the only thing he had to do was TV and radio. So right now we are having a whole new universe of digital platforms, which is much bigger than only radio and TV. But the organization, in its core, still thinks about linear TV. So actually, several years ago, the original body that handled the public broadcasting was shut down by the government because it didn't have the tools to supply the needs of the users in our time. So it was shut down and then rebuilt again, still building, using and hiring a lot of people from the all of the organization, because still they are the leading talents in TV. But we had a whole different role of delivering our content in all of our digital platforms. So the digital division is like, it's part of the organization, but it's a different state of mind, different skill sets for the people. So we have to live in the digital universe to know all the tech solutions in the high-tech companies, and to know about all the trends and abilities that are not related to TV, to phone school TV at all. And our job is to tell the organization is where should we be in the next few years, what our users expect us to do in the digital platforms. And I have to say that the organization realizes that although the core of the business is news and television and radio, the digital universe is the most hot place and the most evolving place. And we get a lot of tools and flexibility from the user to meet our goals.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, Lior. Like, you know, culturally, when you've got an organisation with people that have been familiar with the brand, the organisation, the culture for decades, and then all of a sudden digital arrives, does that mean that everybody's mind has to shift to be much more future-facing?
Well, in the digital division, yes, because this is our role, and our environment is changing in the highest pace, because it's not the same for the news division. With news, it's the same,
yeah.
And the TV and radio that creating the content and streaming it in the not streaming it, airing it in the old linear channels and radio station. It's the content maybe evolves. Okay, the tastes of the user is changing, but the platform stays the same. In the digital division, we're supposed to know every trend. If it's on social, if it's on, we had like a week that we thought that the new Facebook platform. I remember the name when Twitter started to stutter. We thought, okay, there's a new thing, we should be there.
Yeah,
and it happened like from today. It's not. It was yesterday. He didn't exist.
Yeah.
And now you have to be there.
Yeah.
So this doesn't happen.
That was crazy.
In other business, I don't know. The digital universe has another different case of happening. So it's our job to lead the organization and to be able to act when there's a new platform, opportunity, experience to should deliver. And I'm happy to say our CEO can understand that, and our CDO, everybody in the division gets the tools that they need to be the best. It's not so.
Do you tend to find that you have to proactively advise and consult the rest of the business, or does the business come to you and say, what should we do? What's our options?
I think that in the past year, maybe more than a year, we are more active with instructing the rest of the organization. What should it do? How should it create the content? What kind of content we can work with? And it comes, I think, basically usually from us. So we heard about a product, we saw a product that can be useful for the reporters.
Yeah.
So maybe you should try this, and we could think together how to use it in.
It's about collaboration.
Yes. So I feel like as the division that lives in this digital environment, and we're used to hearing, reading, see like a lot of trends, opportunities, ideas. We try to meet startups in our area that can be relevant for us, not even today, maybe in a year, but to understand what's happening, because it's not like you can open a book and read about. No, you have to live it every day.
Yeah, it always moves. It feels like you're like a digital lighthouse. You shine a light in the way forward for the business.
Exactly. That's our role inside the organization.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So
Yeah. Let's talk about what the switch off really means for public service broadcasters, because this term fascinates me. It makes you feel as though there's going to be a moment where someone flips a switch and it's a switch off. But it's not really like that, is it? It's more of a transition.
yes, and it's a transition because linear TV is not dead, but when we see the behavior of the users, you understand linear TV is not so relevant as it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's there, and some there are the audience that will still go to linear TV. My parents are 80 years old, and they are curious about the digital product, but I know that if they will have to deal with a streamer and to choose what to watch today, it will be a bit difficult for them. And I'm not always there to support, so I say, okay, you can stay on linear TV.
Yeah.
But you can see that the most watched content on linear channels are, you understand, it's elderly audience.
They're familiar with that technology.
Yes. So when you see the most watched content we have on linear TV is a show that was popular, I think 30, 40 years ago.
Right.
And during COVID, they had this idea of reuniting and starting creating content again. And these guys are in their 70s and 80s.
Wow.
So they're cute. I like this content. It's like taking me back to my childhood.
Yeah.
But you understand that if this is the most watched content in linear channels,
Yeah.
it means the audience is also older.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of content.
This is interesting for me, Lior, because we talk about that demographic and we understand why they're more static around what they've been familiar with for decades.
Yeah.
But on the other end, and as well, your obligation to honour the vision for the broadcaster is to create the kind of UX that are different, totally different end of the spectrum wants in the demographic.
Exactly.
Younger people that want apps.
Exactly.
They want OTT, they want to watch it on their devices.
Exactly.
You've got to cater for all of that, right?
Exactly. You would expect that the most watched content would be the prime shows of the organization, and not that they are not there. They are beaten by some 4 guys in their 80s,
Yeah.
creating content in the same way they used to do 40 years ago. So our prime show gets a lot of streams in the digital platforms, not on the linear channel.
Okay.
Because our content, and we really try to cater every audience. We have news, we have comedy, we have drama, we have reality, we have sophisticated reality, and the digital platforms are exploding. We're also available on YouTube. Most of our content is also available on YouTube, and we have a lot of users on YouTube, mobile apps, website, TV app. The linear channel is not one of the main places to watch the content, because people do not watch the linear content as they used to. We have a lot of alternatives. If I'm sitting on the couch in the evening, I have so many options. I'm competing with Apple TV and Netflix and Prime Video and Disney and other media companies in Israel, and the chances that I will be with plan my day to sit on the couch on 9:15 when the prime show starts.
Yeah.
This is not how I.
It's not the modern world we know, is it?
No.
What about the challenges? That there's a lot of upside. You and I would passionately agree with that. So what are the main challenges that your public service broadcaster can encounter, and that you would advise other people, maybe in your job in other broadcasters around the world? What are the headline challenges to watch out for?
Okay, so as a public organization, there's always the budget. So we try inside the organization to explain what can we do with the budget, and we have to, of course, choose our partners wisely on way that we can grow with them, and they will. I like partners work with public broadcasters in other places because they know our fame. We don't use ads. We are not subscription based. We are totally free. So we need to explain inside the organization and to our partners. Well, this is a public broadcaster. This is the guidelines for our work, and we have to be realistic. But still, as somebody said yesterday in one of the meetings, every organization wants a mini Netflix app with all the abilities, but they don't have the $50 million to buy and to build a Netflix app. But I think we could still do a lot with a minimal budget. Okay, just you have to pick wisely. You have to be careful, not when you choose your partner.
How many partners do you think you have, Lior? I mean, I can imagine you've got quite a good constellation of partners for so many different things that you need.
Yeah, it's the other thing that as a public organization, there are some regulation and bureaucracies that we have to accept. So we have different contract, and we have to open a public tender for every partner. So there's a lot of work done before we open the tender. We have to know exactly what we want. We have to specify exactly what are the demands, what is the experience we need. We have to build a point system of how we are going to rate or rank every partner, because after we open the tender on our website, we're not in control. I can't just decide I don't like this company. I only want to work with them. So because I work with full transparency, and I'm on for that. Okay, as a user, as a citizen, I want the public organization to behave like that, because otherwise there's a risk that some will think you want to work with this partner and not this partner because you got something, and we are doing it the right way. But it means we have to plan. We have to know exactly what we need. We have to think for the next 2 years what are the abilities and features that will be relevant for us. We have to write down the integrations that this partner will have to make. So there's a lot of planning, and we're trying to plan. We can't get the contract aligned, but we're trying to get us to a point that we will have as much possibilities as we can.
It's quite interesting, isn't it? There's a very distinct type of selection process for partners. As you said, there's lots of stakeholders to that. It needs to be legitimate, clear, transparent selection process. It's quite different when you're a public service broadcaster and you have to adhere to all of those compliance type procurement processes to a more entrepreneurial business that can go, oh, we know them, we've known that company for a long time, we have a relationship. It's not that simple.
Right. I used to work for a private-owned corporation, and it was a whole different method. So you map the 3 market leaders, and you meet them, and you meet their clients to get some recommendation, and then you can choose. You're in control.
Yeah.
It's a different process for us, and it's okay. We can live with that. We just have to plan and to be accurate, and to know exactly what we want and what our partner needs to bring to the table.
Yeah.
There's also a part is the contracts issue, a lot of regulation.
Yeah.
We sometimes have to explain the regulators why do we need approval for collecting personal information.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not because everything we do is like the government be.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we want to collect email address for the login process, which is trivial.
Absolutely.
Standard. Every website does it for years.
Yeah.
And we have to sit down with the regulator and explain why the Israeli government, because we're representing the Israeli government, should ask the user for its email address. What are we going to do with this email address? What other information do we collect? That's
just the process.
Yeah, we just have to do it, and we have to express and to share our ID and to harness this regulator to understand that we are acting for the user. This will give us the tools to offer personalization, continue watching all the features that the guy I'm sitting with knows from Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to find how to communicate it.
This is one of the things that public service broadcasters have got a vital public service role. I mean, it's part of the fabric of modern day culture, right? That's what you need. Every country's got that. That's where it is. But you're personally on that balance between the legacy of what that was and the future of what it will be. Right. And I say, my question is around how you kind of remain relevant, and while you're still upholding that obligation to the society that you're serving.
Exactly. So we create a lot of content, and the content has so many kinds, languages. It's the amount of content is I can't even describe it, and our job is to get this content in a way that every user will find what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Because content is not the problem. We have to find the right place to get the content out there and accessible. And we also see ourselves with a mission to lead our market, because we are public. We're not thinking about this feature will not be so profitable. We want to invest in it.
Yeah.
If we think there's a feature that will generate some value for us and for the users, we're going to do whatever it takes to create it, to build it, to find the right partner to. So I feel like our market can be a bit cynical on its commercial side. Any feature is not very profitable will not be available to the users. I'll just step aside to talk about football, for example.
Your passion.
My passion, yeah. As a football fan, I can't watch football on my mobile device. Let's say I can't I can't be in the stadium today, and I want that there's a match today.
Yeah.
And I can't watch
This is
it.
important to you, Lior.
Yes, it's very important to me. I have a season ticket. I won't be there today, and I want to watch the game. I can't do it in Israel. I can't do it from my mobile device. I can do it only on TV.
Yeah.
Because for the right holder, I'm not his user.
Yeah.
His user, his customer,
Yeah.
is the telco company that buys the content from him.
Yeah.
That's not 2023. That's not digital thinking.
Yeah.
We are living in an age that I know what's going on in other countries. I understand that it's the problem is not the technology.
Yeah.
It's the people.
Yeah.
Maybe regulation needs to step in, but it's like this for many years, and nobody takes a stand. So during the World Cup, we were everywhere. You could watch the matches everywhere on your mobile, on the website. We had so many options to watch the matches.
Yeah.
And then the World Cup ends, and you go back to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Our mission is to show and to give the users what they need, the best tools to use to watch our content, the best experience that's out there. If it's possible, if tech-wise it's possible, and I can implement it with my infrastructure, I want to do it. If I think it gives some value to the user, I want to do it, because I don't think commercially.
Your role fascinates me, Lior, because you've got this box of digital tricks that you know will bring value. You just gave a perfect example of you personally. Probably thousands and thousands of other people feeling exactly the same way. But it's not that simple in life, is it? You know, when you're dealing with lots of different factors that influence whether or not something can be realized.
Right.
And that's your day-to-day, right? You're a digital spearhead within your space.
Right. And we find sometimes that our current products and infrastructure wants us back. And so we are, think the last year and the next months will be very dramatic for us, and hopefully dramatic in a good way, because we are looking at every contract and every partner and every product we have in the system, and thinking about what doesn't work today, and if this is the right partner for us for the next 5 years. Do we need a market leader? Do we need someone with integration abilities in the local markets? But we want to be in a point that we can take a decision only by what the user needs, not what can I do, not if my CDN can support that, if my CDN provider can integrate this product, so we need our infrastructure to be advanced, to be agile, to be flexible and open to work with other integrators products, so we can afford the best experience, so we can deliver the best experience. So we are, and as I said, choosing a partner, picking the right partner starts with mapping your needs and the possibilities in the market. And as a TV organization, we're not a tech company, so we don't have a dev team in-house, and it's I, as a product manager, and I don't come from tech background, but I have to learn and read and have the ability to communicate with vendors and to understand what do I need, what do they offer, will it work, and then we'll add another tech consultant to the team to help us write down the tender and the plan
Yeah.
What are the capabilities this vendor should bring to the table? And if we make a mistake, we don't pick the right vendor, we'll lose a lot of opportunities in 2, 3, 4, 5 years from today.
And time now. Lior, my last question for you was going to be, what's going to happen over the next 5 years? But you kind of already answered that one in terms of the point that you're at. It sounds like you look in your eyes like you enjoy your job. You feel like someone that takes pride in your job.
Very exciting time to work for a digital division.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we have a lot of big dreams. And I feel that the actions we take today will help us achieve and to make this dream come true for our users. And except today, I think Khan is already considered to be very innovative, content-wise and product-wise. And we want to build on that. We want to keep pushing and deliver the best creative, innovative, and the best experience for streaming products in Israel.
Lior Ovadia, I definitely feel as though Khan have got the right man in the seat for the job that needs to be done. Thank you so much personally and professionally for spending the time that you spent today on the OTTRed Spotlight podcast, sponsored by Bedrock at IBC 2023. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Totally.